So obviously, becoming a champion was the goal, but we always hear the hardest thing is hanging on to that title. So what's the vibe been like? What's the effort been like? The emotion of this fight camp?
This has been a really fun fight camp, honestly. Every fight camp has a lot of hardships that you have to get through. It's always hard. It's always a lot of hard work, but I feel like this has been one of the best fight camps and one of the happiest that I've been in fight camp. So I don't know, maybe there's something to this belt having stuff.
Is there a new pressure? I mean, we talked last week about how much you're kind of enjoying the whole media deal that you're having to deal with. But I mean, is there kind of a new pressure to want to maintain that championship versus just climbing the ladder?
Yeah, I feel like every fight there's more pressure, and especially now that I've achieved the goal, it's like, well, now I want to maintain that. So it doesn't get easier. I think that it just gets harder from here on out. Always going to be fighting the next best girl. So, and what's really kind of crazy is that just everyone doesn't know how tough Amanda is. Everyone's kind of thinking, oh, this is an easy fight for you. So, it's kind of like there's a lot of expectation on my shoulders, to really go out there and just knock her dead, But honestly, I think that she's a really tough opponent, and I got a lot of pressure on my shoulders to go out there and perform to everyone's expectations.
I know you've been very complimentary of your camp, and everybody is here. But have you brought in anybody new, anybody special because of Amanda as an opponent?
No, I didn't bring in anybody new or special. I feel like Amanda's style is just pretty well-rounded, and I think here at Xtreme Couture we have lots of smaller guys and quality females that can emulate her pretty well.
Was it tough to find the motivation after you won the title? Like you celebrate, you're like, wow, I made it. Now I got to keep fighting and going. Is something difficult in your mind to say, now I have to find something to keep driving me?
No, I think holding on to that belt is all the drive that I need. And no, finding motivation for this fight was really easy, actually. And it was really nice to be able to just transition straight from one camp pretty much into another. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I mean, I used to fight a lot. I think I had in one year of my pro career, I think I had 6 fights, professional fights, which is a lot. So I was used to fighting a lot, and then it kind of slowed down. So I'm excited to just keep this momentum going. You got a good thing going, just keep it going.
Is there a tangible goal you can set though? Like when it's getting the title, obviously it's easy to say that's what I want the title. Is there something tangible in your mind to say I want to defend it 10 times or 20? Is there something in your mind where you can say that's what I want?
I haven't put a tangible goal. I just want to keep defending as long as I feel like, that I'm healthy and able to do so. So just a long time. I guess I have at least a few years in my mind where I want to stay the reigning champion for a long time.
Have you noticed a different attitude in yourself of having that title and maybe the confidence that it brings with you?
Yeah, I think, definitely. Like having the title, there's just something else, something more to it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's like when you have the belt, you have a sense of pride and success and also, possessiveness. It kind of brings you back to that primal roots. It's almost like a lioness with her cubs, or a mama bear with her cubs. That's kind of like how I feel over the belt, that it's mine and I'm not going to let anyone take it or hurt it.
Has it been exactly what you thought, or is there something different?
It's been pretty close to what I thought, but it's just more. There's just more than I would have expected. I got a lot of love before, but when you become the champion, people who don't even know anything about MMA suddenly become supporters and fans, which is a great thing. It's definitely not a bad thing. But I always had a lot of love and support from the MMA community. But now just saying that you're a champion, people who don't even know anything about martial arts are like, oh, they just kind of perk up like, okay, I want to support this person. So it's just been a lot more love.
How long does it take for it to sink in to, feel natural that you're the champ? Or has it still sunk in yet?
Yeah, it's sunk in. It took about a month. Yeah. I think when I went on that 3-day press tour after Australia, so I went to Australia, then I went on a 3-day press tour to New York, Connecticut, and Toronto, and that was just all day, 12 hours a day, talking about the belt and being the champion and everything that was ahead. So that kind of helped, drill it into my head.
Now, Brian mentioned opportunities as being a champion. Have you had your Beyonce moment like Holly Holm meeting somebody, or?
I've met a lot of really cool people since becoming the champion, but you know what's so funny? I have this thing as soon as I try to think of someone's name, it's like you can't think of their name. Like every single time. I think I did that at the luncheon too. I did. Yeah, as soon as I try to think of their name. I remember Gerard Butler. that was really cool. He was at my fight and like came backstage and shook my hand and said congratulations, you know. So obviously watched him on 300 and stuff, and I thought what an amazing, what amazing talented actor he was. So that was pretty cool. One of the highlights for sure.
You're more excited than ever though. Like everybody's calling you out, my body's calling you out again. How does it feel for you? Because you're preparing for important fights, but you still have people talking about you all the time.
I feel like that's a good thing as the champion if you have a lot of people gunning for you. You know, a lot of people should be gunning for me. You know, they want what I have, but that just gives me more motivation to protect it. So, and I've had a target on my back for a long time, even not as the champion. I was still heavily targeted as someone who, you know, people thought if they could beat me, then they could get a title shot. So I've been targeted for a long time. So that's nothing new. You know, as a champion, they just want something more than they did before. But I've been, I was beating them not as a champion. I'll continue beating them as the champ.
So do you pay attention, like when they start talking to you on Twitter or like trying to send you a message through social media or something?
I've just been ignoring it because I really want to stay focused on Amanda. You know, I don't need any other distractions. I don't need to think about anybody else but Amanda. And she has 100% of my dedication. I'm not training for anybody else but her. And yeah, I've just been ignoring it.
Cyborg was pretty excited at your willingness to fight her, though. She came out with an idea of 140 in New York City. I mean, do you still like that concept? Do you think it's possible?
You know, it's just not something I'm focused on at the moment. I have to wait until after this fight to be able to address that and talk to the UFC, but I just really, really don't want to look ahead. I don't want to look past Amanda. I just feel like that's just such a big mistake. You start focusing on future fights and you let the one that really mattered slip through your fingers. And like I said, I've been seeing a lot of belts changing hands recently, a lot of single-time defenses, and I don't want to make that mistake. So I really think that I have got to stay grounded as much as the media and the fans want to know more what's next. It's like I can't give you what's next until what happens.
When you get asked about Ronda all the time, how exhausted are you about those questions, and what do you have to do to put them to rest? It seems like you have to answer.
I just have to tell you guys to shut up. No, you know, I get asked about Ronda all the time. You know, it's one of those things that I've just had to become accustomed to. But yeah, she's just not where my focus lies right now. So it's just got to be focused on the task at hand.
Can you talk about Amanda a little bit? I know you talked about her being well-rounded, but in comparison to everybody else you fought, what does she bring to the table that's actually different than a Ronda or a Kat or a Holly?
I think Amanda has a lot of power in her hands, and she's not afraid to use it. You know, Holly is, she's a very powerful woman too, but she's so good at controlling range. I don't recall really getting hit, you know, punched a lot in that fight, and if I did, not really any connections that hurt me at all. You know, I came out of there, that was one of the least injured I've ever been in a fight. You know, usually it's knockdown, drag out, you know, I've got a bloody nose, I've got, you know, broken orbital bone, like they're knockdown, drag outs, and I was fine after that fight. I mean, because she does a lot of distance control, which is like, we call them like air punches or punches to the gloves. You know, they're not committing because she doesn't want to get taken down. It's kind of like, don't come in, you know, like, but Amanda is like, man, she will crack you, and she's put away some girls with a single punch. So she's got this kind of Brazilian ferocity to her, and she's very, you could tell she's very prideful when she fights. You know, she's going to lay it all out on the line, and I like that. You know, she's not too safe about anything. Like, she's really going to go for it, and I think that's why she has so many first-round finishes, because she goes out there and she puts the heat on people. She puts pressure on people, and a lot of people, she gets them to fold. You know, we kind of saw that with Sarah McMahon. She put the heat on Sarah McMahon. Obviously, she has great finishing abilities, not only on the feet, but on the ground. So, you know, she's dangerous everywhere, honestly. Yeah, and she has some judo, I heard. So, you know, she's got a very well-rounded game.
I'm sure you saw your buddy Vegas Dave put $1 million down on you to win
Yeah,
this
I
fight.
did see that.
I mean, obviously not that you owe him anything.
Crazy
but,
man.
What does that feel like? Knowing somebody's putting $1 million cash on you to win a fight.
Well, it's good for me because he's pretty good at picking fights. So gives me a little more confidence. Like, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Gonna make the man some money.
Have you ever put some money down on a fight?
Yeah, I have before. I put down money on Paige and Rose. So I put money on Rose. On that fight. I put money on Rose. I really thought that they had her as such an underdog, but I thought she had a great. You know, I thought she was going to win that fight.
Yeah. Oh, Brian mentioned that you guys got a hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, tell us about that and how that helps with the training.
That's just amazing. It's just a recovery tool, essentially. So you go in there for an hour and a half. I do that every day. sometimes twice a day if I can, and it just hyperoxygenates your blood and helps you to recover a little bit quicker. So that's the name of the game. It's like those little tiny things, little nuances, little edges that you can get, because we all come here and we work really hard. We're all, good athletes. We all have a skill set, but what can you do in your downtime to recover faster so you can come back fresher for your next training session? So that's really the evolution of the game. So I feel like I'm definitely a step ahead of the curve with this hyperbaric chamber. It's great.
You mentioned, rolling right into another training camp. After this fight, are you going to do that again, or do you want to take some time off?
After this fight, I would like to take some time off. August will be my 30th birthday, the Dirty 30. So I got to enjoy that a little bit, take some time, and I'll enjoy a little bit of the summer for sure.
So you expect to fight again before the end of the year, or do you want to?
Yeah, right around the end of the year is what I'm thinking. November, December, or something like that. Anybody else?
Cool. Awesome.
All right, thank you guys.